Alrighty guys, what's going on everybody? Welcome back here to another live stream, my friends. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day so far. Glad to have you guys here for another update, my friends. Now, we got ourselves a bit more severe weather coming up here for the next couple of days. We are going to need to be looking out there for. But what's up, everybody? Once again, it's been a couple days. I've been going through some stuff lately, but we're good. Everything's fine. But it's good to be back. It's good to be back, and I'm glad to have you guys here. Let's see who we got here so far in the chat. We got ourselves Lucky Dog. We have Brooklyn. Let's see here. Crystal, Divinely. We have, let's see, Ponderosa, Susie, Amber, Brian, Andrea. Let's see here. Darian, Ashes, Rich. What's up, everybody? Hope everyone is doing well out there. I'm going to throw in the old glasses here because, well, it's a little, my eyes are bothering me today. but I hope everyone's doing well. So we got ourselves another day, unfortunately, of some severe weather here. We're going to hop to today's outlook here. We got ourselves another enhanced risk out there for today out there towards northwestern Missouri, northeastern portions of Kansas, southeastern Nebraska, portions of like central and southwestern portions of Iowa. We do got ourselves another enhanced risk, a level 3 severe weather threat. So we'll need to be extra cautious across the orange here. This does include areas like Des Moines, Iowa. This does include little portions near Omaha, actually. Omaha's right on the outskirts of that. Same thing for Kansas City, too. A little bit of Kansas City included in today's enhanced risk. Also, Topeka, Kansas is right in the middle of it. So, just a little bit of extra attention to those places. We'll just need to keep it out there for it. This is where the greatest potential for severe weather is. We'll get into the breakdown here in a moment, but then we got the yellow, which is level 2 threat for today, which is the middle threat regarding severe weather. Still an area we need to be weather aware, I should say. So we'll definitely need to keep an eye on it. But yeah, the level 2 threat goes all the way down to north central Oklahoma here, out there towards Kansas, Wichita. Let's see, Lincoln, Nebraska, Sioux City. Let's see here. Yeah, some of those regions there we need to be also weather aware. Then, of course, we got the level 1, which is the marginal, that low-end severe weather risk here for today. That actually goes all the way through Texas. So there's a potential for a couple isolated severe storms across the green here. So if you live out there towards like western Texas, there's a possibility we could get an isolated severe storm or two and all that fun stuff, of course. It's been pretty active the last couple of days here. I mean, we're here at late April, almost into May here, and I mean this is prime season, y'all. This stuff is usually what happens this time of the year, unfortunately. But like I said, we'll be here to walk you through it. I know I haven't been for the last couple of days. Like I said, I just had a lot of personal things going on. It's been a little hard lately, but like I said, I'm pushing through. We're gonna get through this, and we will be here for coverage today later on. So I will be here for you guys later on today, I promise. We'll definitely be here to cover this for you guys and to, at least for a little bit. Just be here for a little bit to give you guys some weather coverage. Now, when it comes to the probabilities and stuff like that, like tornado probs, we got a 5% risk for tornadoes today. We have a decent shot for a couple of tornadoes. Now, this is not expected to be like a tornado outbreak or anything like that today. We could have a couple tornadoes, of course, and the greatest probabilities are going to be here in the brown, which gives you a 5% chance for tornadoes. So, for example, let's use Des Moines, Iowa for an example here. So, basically, what's going on, if I was to grab, let's see, we're just going to do a little radius here. So, this is, let's see, I'm trying to make this precisely. Okay, so that is right at 25 miles. So basically the way this works here is that within 25 miles of Des Moines, or just really even any given area in the brown here, there is a 5% chance that somewhere a tornado could drop. Like I said, it's possible. We're not expecting, I mean, personally, this is my opinion, I think we could have a couple strong tornadoes today. I don't think they're going to be like super violent like they have been the last couple of days, but given like the lower level jet stream and stuff like that, I think it could support a couple of, maybe a couple brief to maybe a strong tornado or so. Don't let that worry you. Don't let that worry you. So we'll definitely, just have to watch out. So once again, yeah, within 25 miles of a given point, there's a 5% chance, which is low probability. Once again, the odds of you getting a tornado is very low, but it's still something to monitor. It's nothing to freak out about, but it's something to keep an eye out there for. But yeah, so we got portions of Iowa, like actually even southwestern Minnesota here included in that 5% risk here. Southeastern South Dakota, eastern Nebraska, including like Omaha, Lincoln. Some of those regions got hit pretty hard the other day, unfortunately. Obviously, prayers goes out to the people who were affected by those storms. I mean, it's just terrible to witness. It's just absolutely devastating. But like I said, this is not as big of a threat as it was the other day, but, still for your safety, we should still monitor it, okay? Like I said, we'll be live later on to cover part of it. But this also goes up in the Kansas, too, by Wichita, Topeka, Kansas City. You guys are inside of the 5% tornado threat here, which is, like I said, it's a decent threat for tornadoes, but like I said, it's nothing that should drive you to fear. It's nothing that you should really worry about. But it's, like I said, monitor it, keep an eye on it. Don't ignore it, but don't worry about it. That's literally what you got to do. Of course, across the green here, it's a small 2% risk here. It's still not zero, but the odds are definitely very, very low, which the tornado threat in general just dips all the way down to basically north central Oklahoma today. So, an isolated tornado could be possible up in northern Oklahoma. But yeah, so the main areas we just got to watch out there for is, Iowa, Nebraska, portions of South Dakota, portions of southern Minnesota, Kansas, and areas out there towards Missouri. Now, when it comes to damaging winds, that's actually going to be kind of a problem today. Actually, one of the main issues. The main issue today, guys, is going to be hail and damaging winds. Now, regarding damaging winds, we have a 15% risk here for damaging winds. So, same thing. Like I said, within 25 miles, we'll use Omaha now for an example. So, within 25 miles of Omaha, in a radius here, there's a 15% chance that we could have damaging winds. Now, in this case, potentially 70 miles an hour or more. We're talking potential hurricane force wind gusts out of these storms being possible. We are expecting a line to kind of develop here as we'll look at the models here in a moment, and you guys will see that. But yeah, so across this netted area, this is what we call the hatch risk or the significant risk here. So this region here is where we could see the potential, of ignore my dogs back there. But this could be where we see the potential here of some damaging winds, like I said, possibly 70 miles an hour or more. So we'll definitely need to be extra weather aware out there. This includes eastern Nebraska, a little sliver there of southeastern South Dakota, portions of central and western Iowa, southwestern Minnesota, northwestern Missouri, northeastern Kansas here. So we'll definitely be watching out there for that. And of course, like I said, for the normal areas that are not in that hatch risk area, so across the 15% risk here in the yellow, and of course the brown, the areas that are not in that netted area, that is where we are talking mostly just wind gusts between 60 and 70 mile per hour wind gusts. So kind of more on that lower scale of damaging winds, but it's still potentially could be some damaging wind gusts. But yeah, we've got to really just watch out across that black area, as we could see some of those wind gusts being 70 plus. So that's another thing we need to look out there for. And another one of the main things is hail today. Hail's actually the main driver today. And as you notice, we have ourselves another hatch risk here. Now, this is where we potentially could be seeing, hail. Possibly 2 inches in diameter and larger. We are actually talking some pretty large hail today, being a good possibility, with the greatest concern being up there in northeastern Kansas by Topeka, northwestern portions here of Missouri, southeastern Nebraska, central and southwestern Iowa, also in a pretty good shot there for some hail. And so, like I said, this is a 30% chance probability. So if you guys are across the red here, within 25 miles, there's a 30% chance that we could have hail 2 inches in diameter or larger. So it's a pretty decent hail threat, and hail needs to be taken seriously today, especially across the red. Now, we do have ourselves some other areas in the hatch risk, but less probability. Across the yellow here, you can see where that hatch risk is, goes into eastern Nebraska, towards like Sioux City, and some of those regions there. This is also a hatch risk. We're still talking potential of 2-inch hail or larger, but it's just a lower probability, down to 15% here across portions of, like I said, across portions here of the yellow. So a little bit lower probability, but, it's still a potential for some large hail. Now, the other areas also going down into Texas, like we were mentioning, this little brown area here is a 5% chance. Now, in these regions here where we don't have this black outline here, the black the black outline is basically saying that we could have some hail 2 inches in diameter or larger. Now, the other areas here, such as like, the brown and all kinds of stuff like that, such as like the brown and all those regions there, that's where we could just see hail between 1 and 2 inches in diameter. So we're talking, lower size. So it shouldn't get 2 inches or larger across those regions there that are not highlighted. But, obviously, we'll have to just, still watch out for those regions for just a little bit of hail. But yeah, so that's the outlook for today. Let's go ahead and hop our way over here to the models. We're going to take a look here at the HRRR. I'm actually going to bring it over here for you guys. We're going to take a look at the weather models here and kind of look and see what we're looking at regarding today's event and all that fun stuff. So whenever it comes to it, actually in the current radar view, I was actually monitoring this morning. We've already had a little bit of convection pop off. This is not the main event here. We've already seen a little bit of storm activity roll through eastern Nebraska, working its way into western Iowa currently. There could be some lightning, could be some thunder, but nothing severe right now. We did have a couple severe warnings on here this morning, but that is no longer the case right now. But that, like I said, this is not the main event. This is just kind of a little early bit of precipitation, which, in some cases, if you get early precipitation and early storms in a risk area, sometimes it can stunt the growth of other supercells or other severe weather later on. We'll have to monitor that and see if that's going to be the case today. But, like I said, I wouldn't, given the way that the atmosphere is, it's still going to be quite possible for severe weather. So still wouldn't let your guard down. But, we'll have to just monitor later observations and kind of just see how things play out here. But, yeah, we have been seeing a little bit of that this morning. But, yeah, so we work our way down over here to the models, like the HRRR here. And as we work our way down in time, so we're actually working our way to 20 Zulu, 21, 22. Okay, so right around 22 Zulu, this is 6 o'clock Eastern. So this would be right around 5 o'clock Central time for you guys. And right around 5 o'clock Central, we could see a couple of supercells, a couple strong storms rolling its way towards western Iowa. Maybe a discrete supercell or two up there towards Nebraska, according to HRRR. So as we work our way over here, right around 5 o'clock, we work our way over here to 6 o'clock, 7, and right around 6 or 7 o'clock p.m. Central time, we will be seeing the potential there of kind of a line developing, as you can kind of see, probably some widespread damaging winds, maybe some hail, and like I said, maybe the possibility for a couple tornadoes we'll have to watch out for. Once again, the greatest probability is going to be up there towards Iowa, closer to that surface low, where we are having amplified lower level winds, as well as, a lot of that instability kind of mixing. The best mixing ratio is over in some of those regions there. But yeah, so once again, just kind of a line that does develops, kind of for the pretty much right around sunset, probably slightly before, might be slightly after. Once again, models should be taken lightly. They shouldn't be taken approximate, but they give you a good idea of what things could look like down in time. But yeah, so anyways, for later on this evening, we are going to be seeing this kind of line develop here. And once again, as we were looking at the SPC outlook, weese regions up here, we're going to really have to look out for those damaging winds. Once again, we're talking potentially hurricane force wind gusts out of some of these storms here. 70 plus mile an hour winds could be possible. Also hail, 2 inches in diameter and larger. These are going to be some pretty nasty storms. So just an extra heads up towards Iowa there. That's where we have that enhanced risk here for today. We'll need to definitely be watching for. Taking a look at the RAP model, kind of shows the same idea, just that long squall line kind of developing later on. And if you look at our lower level winds, you can actually see they are pretty amplified. We do got ourselves some pretty strong lower level winds, about 40, maybe 50 knots in some areas, which to support tornadoes and stuff like that, you essentially need a lower level jet typically of about 30 knots or greater, and we are seeing 40, 50 knots of lower level winds. So that's what leads me to believe that there could be a strong tornado or two today. We're not expecting like violent tornadoes like we were seeing the other day, unfortunately. There could be some tornadoes and maybe a strong one or two, from what I believe, given the way that the models are talking, with this lower level jet in place of about 50 knots, which is, considered pretty decent there overall. Now, whenever it does come to our mid-level winds here as well, out there by Iowa, they are moving pretty quick as well. So basically around mid-level atmosphere, the winds are also moving about maybe 60, 70 knots or so, which will really get those storms organized and really separate those updrafts from your downdrafts and just get the storms matured and just relatively, good and going there. But yeah, overall, between the kinematics here with the winds and all that stuff, and plus our instability that we do have available, there's going to be a good amount of juice in the atmosphere to really get some of those storms going. So we'll definitely need to be really careful up in some of those regions. Once again, I'm not trying to scare you guys. I'm here to let you guys know, what we're kind of seeing here in the atmosphere for today. So decent instability, decent kinematics or wind shear will be in place. And like I said, with that line developing, which leads us to believe that damaging winds and hail is going to be the main problem with a couple embedded tornadoes. Now, the problem today, what I'm kind of wondering is with today's later mode that we were talking about, if we bring our way over here back to the future radar, with this long squall line that develops here, the problem with these squall lines is that they can produce some embedded tornadoes and basically some potential rain wrap tornadoes. Now, when we do get the potential for tornadoes today, because we do have that 5%, if we did have a tornado, there's a potential it could become rain wrapped, meaning that these curtains of rain could wrap around the tornado and could have it pretty much hard to see. It could really obscure the view. So we're going to really need to rely on radar today regarding, what's going on in the storm's inner structure. Because, like I said, not all the time you can see a tornado. That's usually typically on those discrete cells that you have, clear visibility to that mesocyclone. But, not all the time you have that. But, yeah, especially in a QLCS or a squall line like we have today, we're going to have to watch out for a few embedded tornadoes in which, especially out there by Iowa, some of these regions here along the western and central side, I think we could see a couple of that overall. But so we'll definitely be watching it. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on it overall. Like I said, I think the main problem that I'm seeing here is just going to be damaging winds and hail. But like I said, an occasional tornado or two cannot be ruled out here overall. So yeah, by the time we reach around midnight or so, honestly, things should be quieting down a bit. As you can see here with the future radar, we just get a lot of storms that develop here across like portions of central eastern Kansas later on this evening, portions out there by, maybe like eastern, like I said, maybe out there by like eastern Nebraska, rolling our way here into Iowa. And, some of the storms could persist overnight, but they should die down in intensity by the time, they get to these regions up by like Illinois and stuff. You could expect some thunder, maybe some lightning, maybe an occasional isolated severe storm or two if it can continue to keep some of that juice. But, for the most part, like I said, it's going to be relatively done by the time we reach this point of time. And obviously, due to lack of sunlight, that's a big factor. Losing the sun is a big thing for storms because it cools down the lower atmosphere, which kind of builds what we call a cap or a temperature inversion in our lower atmosphere, which basically prevents these storms from reigniting and just kind of, hurts them to continue on, essentially. But yeah. So that's kind of the mode. We work our way down into tomorrow, too. We're going to have to watch out more towards the Central Plains tomorrow. Got a couple discrete supercells popping up according to HRRR here. You can see out there by Kansas, maybe near Oklahoma, Texas area. We'll watch out tomorrow as well. We do have ourselves kind of a, kind of a semi-discrete type of supercell mode here tomorrow from what the HRRR is talking about. Maybe a little bit of an MCS rolling through southern portions of Nebraska, according to HRRR. But once again, you should take these models lightly. They're not perfect. The odds of this playing out exactly from what it's going to look like in real life at this given time, it's probably not very well probable. I mean, it's a good possibility, but like I said, it's not always going to line up 100% overall. So Let's see. Zach says, appreciate what you do. You're my favorite on YouTube. You're awesome, brother. Thank you, Zach. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, I'm going to try to get to more of these comments here. Sorry, y'all. I'm just trying to get through a lot of these stuff we need to talk about because, we're going to have a busy next couple of days, unfortunately. Let's see. Matt says, pursue your dreams, Andrew. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate it, man. Good to see you here. Let's see here. What am I thinking about Kansas City? Kansas City. So, yeah, actually, Kansas City today needs to be on alert. Just keep an eye on it. No reason to worry. No reason to freak out about today's severe weather. But there is a potential that we could get a couple of strong to severe storms out there. It depends on which side of Kansas City you're on, because you can kind of see we're split between the slight and the enhanced risk there. The southeastern side of Kansas City is in the slight risk. The northwestern side's there in the enhanced risk. Once again, main problem for Kansas City today regarding severe weather and all that fun stuff, of course. Like I said, we got a 5% tornado threat. An isolated tornado or two couldn't be ruled out in the given area. But, once again, the odds of Kansas City getting a tornado is pretty low when you look at the overall perspective. But still something you shouldn't ignore, but also something you shouldn't freak out or worry about. In terms of, damaging winds and stuff like that, we got ourselves a 15% risk out there. Winds should be between 60 and 70 mile per hour wind gusts overall. Now, hail, that's kind of where it gets you. Now, we have a potential for some significant hail all across Kansas City today. We could have some potential, like I said, we could have the potential out there for maybe just a little bit of hail, maybe up to 2 inches in diameter and larger. We're talking some pretty decent hail size today. Let's see. Ponderosa says you turned into quite an artist. I don't know about all that. I'll actually show you guys. That's actually one of the things I've been doing. Like I said, I've been just kind of taking a mental break. It's just been crazy lately. But I've actually pursued in the painting. Here's one of my paintings here, but my hands are still dirty from painting earlier today. I need to wash it. Yeah, y'all can see that. It's a solar eclipse I did. That was one of them. I guess I'll show you these really quickly, and then we'll get into tomorrow's outlook here. Here's another one. I'm not too much of a fan of this one. It's a mountain during the evening. And let's see here. Here's a cool one I did. I kind of like this one. Look at this one. This one's a big cumulonimbus cloud, cumulonimbus incus. Nice central plains type of view. Here's a pretty cool one I did too. I've been painting a lot, as you could probably tell. This is an evening ocean here. It's just kind of cool. It's just kind of messing with colors. And then here's one of my first ones here. Another one during the evening. Got a couple birds out there. I like the sunset ocean ones. That's kind of seem to be where I like to go with that. But anyways, yeah, I just wanted to show you guys that. Just kind of a new hobby I've been getting into as well. Anyways, let's see here. Zach, man, thank you so much for the 5, dude. I appreciate it, dude. Thank you so much, Zach. Saying thanks, brother. You are welcome. You are welcome. And once again, thank you. You definitely didn't have to do that, my friend. But anyways, yeah, just wanted to show you guys that. But thank you, Ponderosa. I appreciate that for the artist. I'm not quite an artist, but I'm definitely getting into painting a little more. Anyways, let's see here. Thank you, Brooklyn. Appreciate it. Thank you, guys. Thank y'all for the kind words and stuff. But anyways, yeah, so back over here to Kansas City, we'll just keep an eye out for hail. A couple damaging wind gusts could be possible, in the given area. But I think the main problem here is going to be, mostly just hail and stuff like that. Do I think today will be a major tornado outbreak? No. Today's probably not going to be a tornado outbreak. At least I hope not. We have a 5% risk, which I don't consider it a really good probability for a 5% risk to go a tornado outbreak, unless it's like super huge. I mean, if it's a big 5% risk, then there's a potential it could become a regional outbreak. But today, probably not. Yeah, today is probably not. We're kind of talking maybe a couple isolated tornadoes out there. I mean, if we hop back over here to today's, like I said, tornado risk overall, you can actually see here how we have that 5% risk, little regional risk here. 5%, they sometimes can verify the tornado outbreaks, but like I said, I don't think today will be a tornado outbreak. We'll see, obviously. Now, once we start, if we get like a 10% risk or something like that, that's whenever I start to think it could be a potential for an outbreak. But like I said, today, overall, probably not. But a couple tornadoes will be possible across like Iowa, mostly northwestern Missouri, portions of central and northeastern Kansas, eastern Nebraska, a little sliver of southeastern South Dakota, and southern Minnesota. We'll have to keep an eye out there for overall. Okay, so then we work our way into tomorrow. So like we were looking at the models and stuff like that, we're going to see the potential for maybe a few discrete cells developing out there towards the central plains. We'll need to be watching this here, because it's obviously those discrete cells that kind of can cause some of the biggest problems. Like I said, we've got to really watch out for those discrete storms here tomorrow. It depends on if this holds up from the HRRR. I mean, let's look at another model like the NAM Nest here, NAM3K. Let's see here. Holy cow. Okay, so yeah, obviously a little bit of difference here, but look at that, dude. Wow. Look at that. There's a big MCS. Look at that big block of severe storms, possibly some damaging wind producers, according to NAM. Now, I've always noticed that the NAM model typically does show a lot of straight line winds. It really seems to really always hug the line of a straight line wind event or straight line storm mode, I should say. But we'll see. Obviously we'll see. We'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, regardless, tomorrow, though, we are going to see a bit of severe weather out in these regions here. Now, hopping back over here to tomorrow's risk, we have another enhanced, unfortunately. So tomorrow, obviously today we're shifting for areas up mostly towards Iowa. We're going to shift a little southwest tomorrow. We've got another enhanced risk out there towards, areas of northwestern, north central Oklahoma, rolling through portions like the central Kansas, little sliver there of Nebraska as well in that enhanced risk here. Areas like Dodge City, just shy of Wichita, Junction City, Salina, Great Bend, Hayes, Manhattan. Some of those regions there in central Kansas is in the level 3 threat for tomorrow. So we got a decent threat for tomorrow as well regarding severe weather. Level 2 threat, the middle threat for tomorrow, does go into Texas towards the western side here. Also western Oklahoma as well, including areas like Altus, Elk City, Woodward, going down into Texas by areas shy of Lubbock, towards more like Midland and Big Spring and Fort Stockton areas in that level 2 threat for tomorrow. So, if you're across the orange, you definitely want to be weather aware tomorrow. Same thing across the yellow. Even the green, even the dark green, even though it's a low-end isolated severe threat across the dark green, it's still a potential for severe weather. Across the yellow here, it's a little greater probability, more sporadic. I wouldn't say quite widespread at this point, but, more sporadic severe weather could be possible. And then, of course, we have ourselves the orange, which is the enhanced risk for tomorrow. That's your bullseye for tomorrow. That's where we could see widespread severe thunderstorms and, all kinds of stuff like that. So we'll have to really watch out for central Kansas tomorrow. Tornado probs, kind of similar to today. We got ourselves a 5% risk for tornadoes out there by central Kansas, portions of western Oklahoma, portions out there towards eastern panhandle of Texas. 2% goes all the way down into western Texas, out there by Midland and some of those regions we were talking about. Now, like I was explaining here, we'll take a Big Spring for an example. So within 25 miles, so this right here is exactly 25 miles. So within 25 miles of Big Spring, or just any area in the dark green here, there is a 2% chance that a tornado will drop somewhere in that region. It doesn't mean it'll be right over you. It just means within 25 miles of you, there's a 2% chance that a 2% chance that a tornado could drop in that region there. So if you think about it, the odds are very low, but it's something you shouldn't totally ignore, but it's something, like I said, you shouldn't freak out and worry yourself out about. So, like I said, it'll be okay. It'll be fine. Across the brown, it works the same way. We'll use Great Bend for an example. So within 25 miles of a given area here, there's a 5% chance of a tornado, within 25 miles, which if you still think about it, if you look at it the other way, there's a 95% chance that there will not be a confirmed tornado within 25 miles of you. So, but once again, it is a tornado threat. And, the odds, unfortunately, Mother Nature can be crazy sometimes, if we've seen. So it's something you shouldn't ignore, but it's something you really shouldn't worry yourself out a lot about. Now, when it comes to damaging winds tomorrow, very similar actually to today. We got ourselves a little hatch risk for damaging winds. So there's just a little area down here in like southern Nebraska, northern Kansas here, where we could see the potential for some damaging wind gusts 70 miles an hour or more. We are talking potential for some hurricane force wind gusts in some of those areas here in the black kind of netted area, the significant risk area here. So we'll have to watch out there for that for wind 70 plus. Now across the areas here under that, obviously not in the netted area, that's basically just wind gusts between 60 and 70 mile per hour winds being a possibility. This is a non-SIG area, which basically is just where we could see just, some lower end damaging wind gust potential. But so yeah, same thing works the same way as the tornado probability does for Dodge City within 25 miles, 15% chance of some damaging wind gusts. Like I said, that is that. And of course, we have another little 15% risk across western Texas, but majority of Texas is in the 5%. Now, hail tomorrow, once again, very similar. It's actually the same kind of threat we have today, same hatch risk, same probabilities for today versus tomorrow. I mean, it's going to look pretty similar, but it seems like today's event's going to be kind of a squall line, kind of a long line of storms. One model does show kind of that line we were talking about rolling through the Central Plains tomorrow, like a little MCS or a little squall developing tomorrow. But there's also like the HRRR, it shows it very discrete overall. So we'll have to see. We'll keep it on the models and just kind of see how they kind of show up. But yeah, so hail tomorrow. Once again, central Kansas got to really watch out there for hail 2 inches in diameter or larger, across that black area here. So that is basically, just a pretty good margin here where we could see some, large hail 2 inches in diameter and larger. We're talking some pretty decent size hailstones being a possibility. Now, across the areas that are not in the black highlighted area here, that's basically where we're just expecting hail to be right around 1 to 2 inches in diameter. So a little bit lower, but still potentially for some severe hail. Let's see. Any more storms coming towards Sulphur, Oklahoma? Yeah, I mean, just really in general, Oklahoma needs to keep an eye out there for it tomorrow. Even today, central, mostly towards the central side. We do have ourselves, a little bit of a severe weather threat today across Oklahoma. And then tomorrow, another threat. So, yeah, Oklahoma just in general should keep an eye on it. Regardless of where you're at, there's going to be the potential for some storms, in the whole entire state. So we'll have to watch out for it. Let's see here. Could Northwest Indiana see something? Tomorrow, we're not in the risk. Today, we're not in the risk either. Now, tomorrow, there could be the potential for a couple thunderstorms, but we're not expecting anything severe overall. So tomorrow would be your day if we did get storms. Today, we don't even have a thunderstorm threat out there. Tomorrow, we do. So there could be a couple booms of thunder here and there tomorrow. But, yeah, today, you should be good. But, yeah, nothing severe in the next 3 days, really. Here's for day 3. Another little marginal, just a low-end level 1 threat here for, let's see. Well, today obviously is Tuesday, so this would be, for Thursday, I believe? So Tuesday, day 1, tomorrow's Wednesday, day 2, and of course, so Thursday, we got ourselves a little marginal, or a decent marginal, I should say, covering a lot of the Central Plains, the Midwest here, and, just a low-end thing. But, yeah, we don't have a breakdown for Thursday yet, just between the first 2 days. But, yep, nothing up in Indiana. Let's see here. Tabletop, nope, you're good, man. Nothing for the east. I mean, even in the long range of things, we don't have anything going on. I will bring this up, though. Actually, let me show you all this here. Let me bring up the SPC. So here's the Storm Prediction Center's page here. So obviously today we got ourselves the enhanced. Tomorrow we got an enhanced, and Thursday marginal. And they have no areas here. I'm watching for Monday. Okay, I think Monday could be another day of severe weather, guys. Just a bit of a heads up in the long range here. If we were to hop back here to the main U.S. view, take a look at the instability and stuff like that. So as we approach our way through Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and once we hit Monday here, as you can actually see here for 21 Zulu, this is right around the afternoon, evening of Monday. We're going to have some decent kinematics, some decent wind shear, as well as a good amount of instability. Probably building into some of these regions here. So across these circled areas here, we'll have to keep an eye on it for Monday. Once again, Central Plains, Midwest. It seems like we're in a very active severe weather period for you guys out by the Midwest and the Central Plains. So just over the next couple of weeks or so, I would just be a little extra precautious on the weather across the Central Plains, because it seems like that's an occurring pattern, how we're seeing, wave after wave of severe weather. Until something breaks, that's kind of what we're in here. But yeah, for Monday, we'll have to keep an eye on it. As you can see, 21 Zulu, afternoon, evening of Monday. Lower level winds on this is pretty strong, actually. We get that surface low that develops out there by the eastern Rockies, which eventually will track into the plains here, which could amplify those winds, maybe 40, 50 knots or so. Given exact details at this point in time, it's still a little blurry, but could be a strong lower level jet in place. Mid-level winds as well. You can really see that trough we have going on there for late Monday. I think that's going to be another day worth of severe weather, guys. And like I said, instability lines up. Good amount of instability regarding our dew points and stuff like that. We got a lot of rich moisture, which will be good. Some of those dew points actually in the 70s according to GFS here. And I've been watching this. It's been kind of it's been changing a little bit between the models, but obviously. Let's see here. Hold on. Actually, you know what? That one's not done rendering yet. Relatively the same, actually, but just the general idea is there for pretty much late Monday. We'll have to watch out there for a bit of severe weather. So yeah, just a bit of heads up to you guys towards Central Plains. Watch out there for Monday. A bit of an extended range forecast for you guys regarding severe weather potential. I think that'll be our next big system after the next 2 days of severe weather. Anything further than that, just kind of in la land, honestly. I mean, looking further than 5 days can be very, very not very much accurate. I typically don't like to look more than 5 days out unless I have some serious agreement between multiple models and multiple runs. Then I'll consider it, but. Regarding anything further than this beyond the point is just la land overall. But yeah, absolutely. What's up, Kimberly? Saying, am I okay? I really miss your analysis. It's been going on. Yeah, I've been having a lot of family stuff going on here lately. It's just been pretty crazy here lately. I've just been kind of stressed out and just kind of under the weather, you could say, for the last couple days, but we're good. We're good. And like I said, you guys are very important to me. Your safety is very, very important to me. And hold on, I got someone calling me. Your safety is very, very important to me. And whenever I can be here and help out, I will. And it really got to me. It really just got to me. It's like you guys are my number one priority, and making sure that you guys are well weather aware. You guys know what's going on and what to expect. And of course, out of me, you do expect weather coverage, and I get that, and I'm getting better at it. And like I said, I'm happy to tell you today, obviously we're doing this update live stream here for about an hour, and then later on today we'll do another live stream for coverage. Thinking of going live this evening for you guys at some point. I do got a couple things I got to do today, but overall, that's that. Let's see here. Kansas City, Missouri. Yeah, so Kansas City, we got to keep an eye out there for it today regarding today's severe weather. Kansas City, like I said, we got kind of mixed opinions going on, mixed feelings going on here. We got a slight and an enhanced in portions of Kansas City. And, right on the edge of that. We do got ourselves, an isolated tornado threat. Potential for an isolated tornado or two near Kansas City. Wouldn't let it get to you. Wouldn't let it worry you. Like I said, the odds of a tornado happening for you is pretty low. But like I said, when it comes to it there, it's something that you shouldn't ignore, but it's something you shouldn't, worry yourself over. Damaging winds, 15% risk here. We could see some gusts of winds, possibly between 60 and 70 mile per hour wind gusts. And in terms of hail, actually hail is kind of one of the big problems for you guys, I think, today. Potential out of some of the storms, we could have some hail 2 inches in diameter and larger. So we're going to look out for some large hail today. We could see some hail in some spots over 3 inches potentially, I think. Just given, instability and all the ingredients here on the soundings have been blown out. It's just looks a little concerning for hail today. So we'll just need to be a little weather aware regarding hail today, especially. As we could have some big hail. But yeah, so we'll definitely be watching out for Kansas City here today. And then even tomorrow, we have a little marginal. But yeah, here's tomorrow's threat. Like I said, we have another enhanced risk towards the Central Plains and all that stuff overall. Let's see here. Boo says, miss seeing you online during the big tornado events. So yeah, it was definitely pretty nasty, unfortunately. So it just was kind of upsetting I wasn't able to be live for you guys during that time period. But yeah, like I said, obviously, prayers goes out to the families. I mean, it was bad. It was pretty bad last week. It was not very good. Let's see here. See, West Central Illinois is fine, Dusty. Yeah, we don't got much going on up there in Illinois. Sorry, Indiana, I was thinking. Yeah, Western Illinois, we got a little marginal, so a little low in severe weather threat today. Like I said, an isolated severe storm or two is possible across like Western Illinois. Tomorrow, a couple thunderstorms, but nothing severe. So, yeah, today just a little small threat. No tornadoes today though. We're not expecting any naders up in Illinois today. A couple of gusty winds and maybe an isolated hail event or two could be possible. Gusty winds between 60 and 70 mile per hour winds, and maybe some hail between 1 and 2 inches in diameter overall. Let's see here. Do I ever go live on TikTok? Nah, I don't really use TikTok that much, honestly. How long will the stream be live, Andrew? This one is an update stream. We typically do this for about an hour. We've been live about 40 minutes, so probably about 20 more minutes or so. Let's see here. Had an 8-hour power outage just over the river in Illinois from St. Louis the other night. Any thoughts the next 48 hours for this area? So from St. Louis, let's see here. So for St. Louis, we don't have much going on today. St. Louis area, we should be pretty good. Yeah, really the next three days. Severe weather should just be to your west a little bit. Yeah, so the next 3 days there could be some severe weather just west of you. But honestly, I feel like you are good to go. A couple booms of thunder could be possible, given the fact we do have a thunderstorm risk. But when it comes to it here, the next 3 days we should be pretty good regarding severe weather. We're not expecting any severe weather as of right now. Let's see here. Amish, dude, thank you so much for the $5, man. I appreciate it. Saying Cedar Falls, Iowa. Gotcha. Let's see here. Where is Cedar Falls? I know you put a zip code. You know what? We'll just take that zip code here. Probably be, honestly, easier than me sitting here and looking for it. But I got you, my friend. Thank you, man, for the $5, though. I appreciate that. Like I said, the support definitely helps me out a lot, and I deeply appreciate it, my friend. So thank you so much. All right, so you, my friend, out there by Waterloo area. Okay, so, so today I think you are, you're in a level 2 threat. So you're kind of in that middle severe weather threat today. An isolated tornado or two could be possible. So, like I said, I wouldn't let it worry you. But, just keep an eye out for some warnings. There could be an isolated tornado or two, given, the area here in Iowa. In terms of damaging winds, we could see some gusty winds, 15% shot within 25 miles of you. So within a 25-mile radius of you, there's a 15% chance we could see some damaging winds between 60 and 70 miles an hour around you. And with hail, 15% shot as well, mostly between 1 and 2 inches in diameter from what it looks like SPC has for us here. So level 2 threat, my friend. But thank you, man. I appreciate that. And then tomorrow should be good. Just a little thunderstorm threat. A couple booms still possible, but nothing severe. And then Thursday we get back into a little marginal, little low-end severe weather threat, which, marginals, the odds of you getting severe weather in marginal is pretty low. But, once again, it's just another day of potential severe weather. So keep an eye on it. Anyways. Cassandra, what's the weather like in Ohio? Yeah, Ohio's pretty good, actually. Today we got ourselves, a couple booms in the south, eastern side here of Ohio, sorry. No severe weather expected for Ohio in the next 3 days or so. We should be pretty good. Let's see here. Nebraska, are we fine for today, says Samantha? So Nebraska, it depends on where you're at. The eastern side of Nebraska needs to be weather aware today. So areas out there basically from O'Neill and Grand Island eastward should keep an eye on the weather, especially the more southeast you go into the state. Nebraska City, we have a pretty decent threat for severe weather today. Even Omaha, once again, is in a not as bad of a threat as it was the other day, but still a decent shot for a couple severe storms. So eastern Nebraska in general, we got a couple tornadoes possible in eastern Nebraska. Damaging winds, could be potentially 70 plus out there in some regions in eastern Nebraska, and hail, could be basically 2 inches in diameter and larger in some areas along eastern sides of the state. So it's possible. Let's see here. Cassandra says, okay, thank you. No problem. You're very welcome. You are very welcome, my friend. But I wouldn't worry about it though, Samantha. I mean, like I said, I get it's a little nerve-wracking, but like I said, we'll get through this. I'm going to be live later on to cover some of this here today. So just be weather aware, but don't worry yourself over it. Tomorrow too, we have a little potential for some severe storms, more towards the southern side of Nebraska here, but between today and tomorrow, eastern and southern portions of Nebraska, we'll keep an eye on it. Let's see. I missed Dallas, Fort Worth. Let's see here. Dallas, we don't got much going on today. A couple booms of thunder, theoretically possible, towards Dallas, but nothing severe on the table. Tomorrow, got a little marginal, level low, or a little low-end severe weather action, possibly tomorrow. No tornadoes. We're not expecting naders out there in Dallas, so that's good. Let's see here. Hail, hail and damaging winds, some gusty winds up to 60 miles an hour possible. And some hail up to quarter size possible. So, maybe, or between quarter and probably around 1.5 inches or so. But, so nothing super, super wild. But no naders tomorrow up in Dallas. Day 3, Thursday, right on the edge of a marginal. Fort Worth area has a little bit of a marginal. So, another low-end severe weather threat. Let's see here. You're welcome, Samantha. No problem. Nebraska's getting hit again. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, Nebraska is going to be an area we need to keep an eye out there for. For today. Once again, the eastern side, which you guys got hit pretty good the other day. This shouldn't be as crazy as the other day. I'll tell you that. Like I said, I know it's a little worrisome, but like I said, it'll all be all right. Any word on how strong that wedge was? I think it's preliminary EF4 low end. I know one of them was a prelim EF4 low end. I think we had like 3 EF3 tornadoes. It was pretty bad. We had several significant tornadoes the other day, unfortunately. Is Topeka getting anything? Topeka, Kansas. Yes. Topeka is in the level, actually the greatest threat for today, partially. Got a 5% chance for tornadoes. Within 25 miles of Topeka, there's a 5% chance a tornado could drop within the region. Damaging winds, 15% shot for, some gusty winds between 60 and 70 miles an hour possible. And then hail. Yeah, hail's really the thing you got to mostly watch out there for. Across the region, 30% chance. That's actually why you're in the enhanced risk is because, the only reason we have an enhanced risk today is because of hail. We're talking potential 30% chance for hail. So within 25 miles of you, there's a 30% chance we could have hail 2 inches in diameter or larger. So pretty large hail by Topeka is possible. That's really the main threat following that damaging winds, and then an isolated tornado could be possible in some regions there. Anyways, so keep it out there for Topeka. And then tomorrow, I think, we have a little slight risk as well. So today and tomorrow, we got to be weather aware out there. And then Thursday, even Thursday. So, the next 3 days, actually, look at that. It goes from a level 3 to a level 2 to a level 1. It's just, you're slowly working your way down the severe weather threat. But, the next 3 days between today and Thursday, there's a potential for a couple isolated severe storms. Well, isolated for Thursday, kind of intermediate for tomorrow, and then, of course, a decent threat for today overall. Let's see. You're welcome, Veronica. No problem. Let's see here. Wolfie, there's nothing going on in Georgia, really. Got a couple booms of thunder possible in the deep south today. Nothing severe, though, expected. Tomorrow, not much going on. Day after that, Thursday, not much going on. So, you should be good. There ain't really nothing to worry about, nope, down there. Just really for the East Coast in general. We're just a couple booms of thunder. Nothing too big. All the action, severe weather stuff right now is up in the plains and the Midwest. 2 people were killed in Holdenville. Yeah, I heard about some fatalities, unfortunately. It's just terrible. Like I said, all we can do is send prayers to the families. That's just very unfortunate. Very, very unfortunate. Let's see. Wolfie says thank you. You're very welcome. You are very welcome, my friend. Let's take a moment here to hop over to the flooding risk. That's actually something we didn't talk about. So we'll look and see what we got going on with the flooding aspects of things. So let's go ahead and bring this over here. So for today, so we got ourselves a low-end flooding threat across the the dark green. So if you're in a low-lying area across the dark green areas here, also a little sliver up there in New York and Pennsylvania, maybe some localized flooding could be possible. Across the yellow, that's obviously the greatest potential for flooding. So like Wichita area, Bartlesville, Oklahoma, Emporia, Kansas. We could have a couple of flooding events going on out there. So if you're in a low-lying area prone to flooding, keep an eye out there for that. Tomorrow we got a pretty decent flooding threat, actually, all the way down from the deep south by the southern plains, going through the central plains up into the Midwest here. A decent flooding threat out there. And then day 3, wow, even bigger threat for Thursday. Yeah, so between tomorrow and Thursday, so Wednesday and Thursday, it's going to be a pretty nasty flooding event from what it looks like here. Let's see, what about days 4 to 5? Yeah, day 4, so for, what is that, that'd be Friday. Friday, nothing too crazy. Saturday, nothing too crazy. But yeah, really for tomorrow and the day after, we got to really watch out for flooding. If you're out there by the Midwest and just in these areas prone to flooding, that could be an issue. The scale goes up to 4 for flooding, actually, and we're at a level 2. So kind of on a middle scale. Oh, do we get a severe warning? Look at that. Where's that for? Just got a severe thunderstorm warning. Hold on a minute. Hasn't popped up yet. This is for Alabama. Covington County. There she is. Yeah, let's take a look at that real quickly. See what we got going on there. Let's see here. Let me pull this up. Yeah, that's definitely interesting. Let's go. Yeah, let's see what's going on down there. Yeah, we're not expecting severe weather down here. That's the thing. So that includes Dixie and Carolina. Carolina and Dixie. Let's see here. Velocity. Interesting. Quarter hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds. Okay. Well, there you go. Yeah, so Dixie and Carolina there in southern, very, very far southern Alabama. We got a severe warning out there. Yeah, we do got a couple storms kicking off out there. Also towards the western Florida panhandle here, too. A little bit of storms, but... Well, there you go. Got a severe warning out there. Yeah, but it's a low-end severe. But anyways, y'all. Yeah, but like I said, we'll be live later on today for coverage and stuff like that. Back over here to the models and all that fun stuff. If we were to hop back to the HRRR. It looks like, a lot of those storms are going to develop along a line here. Right around 7 Central, 8 Eastern. Should be well going here. Looks like it'll probably develop around like 5 Central. Roughly maybe 4 or 5 p.m. Central time is whenever things should really start kicking off out there. 4 to 5 p.m. Central time is when we'll start to see some storms develop along probably like eastern Kansas into like southwestern Iowa. Even like eastern Nebraska here. So right around 5 to 6 p.m. Central time, which will be 6 to 7 Eastern. So, but anyways, yeah, like I said, the models here, like I said, the HRRR shows kind of a line developing here, which once again mostly damaging winds and hail is the main problem, and then of course an isolated tornado or two possible up in the Midwest here. So that is that. I mean, it's the cap breaks. I mean, there's a decent pool of instability under that there. So I mean, it's a decent setup. It's nothing extremely crazy, but it's a decent severe weather setup today. Once again, mostly hail damaging winds, and of course an isolated tornado or two up in some areas, with the greatest potential up there towards Iowa and northwestern Missouri. Also portions of eastern Kansas there too. Then you got the NAM here. Actually, yeah, the NAM shows it kicking off a little earlier. Look at that. Right around 20 Zulu, so that would be, 4 Eastern, 3 Central? So right around 3 to 4. So anywhere between, 3 to 5 p.m. Central we can go off of. Anywhere from 3 to 5 p.m. Central time is probably when those storms are going to start to really kick up there across, Iowa, eastern Nebraska, and portions of, Kansas overall. And, of course, that'll set us up for tomorrow's event here. We'll have to keep an eye out there for that, though. Anyways, but yeah, just a bit of a heads up for you guys up there in eastern Kansas. In mostly Iowa, though. That's kind of where the main stuff is today. Let's see here. Kimberly, let's see, 71405. I don't know if you're going to be in. Yeah, you're not in anything severe right now. I don't think. I'm pretty sure, yeah, the severe threat doesn't go down this far. Yeah, today there's no thunderstorms. Tomorrow, thunderstorm threat, some thunderstorms possible. Nothing severe, though. And let's see here. Yeah, so between Wednesday and Thursday, a couple booms of thunder possible, but nothing severe expected out there. See, Alex says one more thing before you go. I've noticed St. Louis, especially other models, have been too conservative lately. Do I think they're failing to adjust to climate change? No, they have their ups and downs. I mean, I've seen all models perform well and all models perform terribly. It's just weather model nature. I mean, it's not that they're failing to adjust to climate change because they go off of variables, thermodynamic and kinematic variables that are never changing. The laws of motion, laws of thermodynamics and laws of physics in general, just it doesn't change. It doesn't change. So it's not failing to keep up. It's just that they have their ups and downs. Models are not perfect, obviously. We can't 100% represent and model the atmosphere as a whole. We can, roughly sketch what the atmosphere could look like. These models are very rough, very, very rough. Even the high-resolution models, they're very rough overall. But yeah, no, it's not that. It's just that, because once again, they use all these variables and everything like that don't change. So let's see here. Can I look at Tulsa? Yeah, I got Tulsa here. Let's hop you all over here real quickly. So Tulsa got a little marginal today, level 1 threat. No tornadoes expected. Let's see, a couple gusty winds possible, a little bit of hail possible. Tomorrow, another marginal. So yeah, just low end severe weather today and tomorrow. Just between some small hail and some gusty winds. But yeah, no tornadoes expected near Tulsa today. We did have a little tornado threat up in Oklahoma today, but that's more to your northwest here. That's more for areas out by like Ponca City and Cherokee and Fairview, Hennessy, some of those regions there. Let's see here. But yeah, so like I said, y'all, we'll be live later on today. So I hope to see you guys there. I'm thinking probably go live around maybe 6 o'clock Eastern. Obviously, I'll monitor the weather throughout the day. Whenever I decide we'll go live, But yeah, we'll be live sometime this afternoon, sometime this evening for you guys. Late afternoon, early evening, we'll go live to do some coverage for today. Once again, got a decent risk across the Midwest and the Central Plains today, so we'll be extra cautious, extra weather aware in those regions there, and we'll be watching it. We'll be watching it. What's up, No Name? Saying, let's see, is this stuff heading towards central Illinois? I have family up there. So central Illinois is not really in much of any concern. A couple booms of thunder possible today up in central Illinois. Tomorrow, same thing, couple booms of thunder, nothing severe, and even Thursday, same thing. So while there is a possibility for a couple thunderstorms over the next 3 days, we're not expecting any of those to be severe. Yeah, that severe threat's going to remain a little more to the west, more towards the deep Midwest and the Central Plains is kind of where the main threats are going to be located overall. Let's see, Kansas part of Iowa could get rough storms later this evening. Yeah, that's kind of what we're watching for. Once again, today's main threat, guys, is going to be between hail and damaging winds. Like I was saying here with today's hail threat, I mean, we got a 30 sig. It's a pretty strong tornado threat, pretty strong hail threat, not tornado threat, for today. I mean, it's a decent tornado threat, got a 5% region, but shouldn't hopefully turn into an outbreak or anything like that. Hail is what we got to really look out for, and same thing for damaging winds. So across the black netted area here, it's a 15% shot for damaging winds, 70 plus miles an hour. Potentially hurricane force wind gusts, and of course hail, 30% across the red, 15 across the yellow, and the whole black area here potentially for 2 inches in diameter and larger. So definitely some big stuff with that. And then of course, that 5% tornado threat overall. Michigan will not get impacted by this, no. Today there's actually not even a shot for thunderstorms up in Michigan. Tomorrow, couple thunderstorms possible in Michigan, and on day 3, same thing. A couple rumbles of thunder, but nothing severe, man. Yeah, Michigan's gonna be fine. Yeah, there ain't nothing going severe up in Michigan. Yeah, once again, the severe risk areas are in the dark green, the yellow, and the orange for today. So the bullseye, the greatest probability is across the orange. The middle threat for today is across the yellow, and the level 1's across the lowest end threat. Regardless of what level, it's still a severe threat. It's still something to watch out for. But the lowest end severe weather threat is across the dark green, which goes all the way to western Texas there. Then of course tomorrow, that shifts a little more to the southwest here. Another enhanced risk, same thing for or hail, actually. Yeah, mostly hail. Once again, the next 2 days here are enhanced just because of hail. Here's today's hatch risk for hail, and then tomorrow is very similar, actually, just in a different little area. Damaging winds, same threat, little hatch risk there. Tornado probs, same probability for today and tomorrow. So pretty similar. Just different areas. But anyways, my friends, well, like I said, I think we're getting ready to roll off here. We've been live for about an hour. Like I said, these update live streams last about an hour for you guys, and then we'll kick into some coverage later on this evening. It was good seeing you guys again. Like I said, I missed y'all. Hope you guys are doing good, and like I said, obviously we'll do anything we can to help keep y'all weather aware and stuff like that. I know it's been a crazy last couple days. I mean, it's just a lot of personal life issues going on right now too. So it's been a rough last week or so, just in general. But hopefully things will get better. And like I said, we'll be live later today, though, to give you all some coverage on the severe weather. But anyways, you guys, well, once again, I appreciate y'all. Let me go ahead and go over our donators here real quickly. Just saying a big thank you to our donations and stuff like that, as you guys are much appreciated and much loved. We had 2 donors today. Thank you so much. Goes to Zach and Amish. Thank you, Zach and Amish. Appreciate you guys for the donation and the support, guys. Y'all are the best and help keep us rolling. So I really appreciate that, y'all. So once again, Zach and Amish, thank you guys so much for the support. But alrighty, you guys. Well, y'all take care. Have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your day. We'll catch y'all here in a later update or live stream, I should say, coverage later on. Once again, I'll go live between probably like 3 and 6 p.m. Eastern. That's kind of what I'm thinking about going live. Probably more like 4 to 6 p.m. is probably when we'll go live regarding all that. Let's see. Thank you, Davis. I appreciate it. Why is the east side getting hit with all these storms? Well, the east is not getting hit with much storms or severe weather. Yeah, it's mostly a turn for the Central Plains and the Midwest for severe weather over the next couple days. Let's see here. You're very welcome. No problem. A weed Timmer. Appreciate it. Let's see here. But alrighty, guys. Well, y'all take care. Once again, thank y'all for joining. We'll catch y'all later on, and we'll see ya later on. See you later, guys. Thank y'all for joining. Once again, thank you to the supporters for Zach and Amish. Appreciate y'all. Thank you so much, guys, and we'll see ya later on.